What's up, guys? So as you know, Radiant Souls is a safe space for like-minded individuals who prioritize wellness. So mental wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, financial wellness. We want to be well in all aspects of our life. And really, I love that I created this because my whole vision is to have a community of like-minded individuals where we're able to connect and network with people who are operating consciously. You feel me? So I can't wait to see how this blossom and expands in the future. But nonetheless, today we're going to be talking about why failure isn't final. So y'all know I love a self-help book, and I've been dissecting this book for a while because I don't read fast. I like to read slowly so I can actually dissect what I'm reading. So today we're going to read one page and then we're going to discuss it, okay? So rejoice rather than resent. That just blew me. Rejoice rather than resent. I know it sounds ridiculous to rejoice when experiencing the aftermath of failure. Our natural inclination is to do just the opposite: fret, fume, and fuss. But in many years of working with people who have failed in various ways, I've come to firmly believe that we all have a secret weapon that's often overlooked and infrequently utilized: gratitude. Practicing thankfulness is a tool that empowers us to move on after failure. Here's why. When we're hunting, our thoughts and emotions are drawn to the source of pain like iron chips to a magnet. We dwell on our weaknesses, our poor decisions, and our disappointments. Choosing to be thankful, however, draws our thoughts and emotions away from our distress and places them on God and His blessings. Simply put, gratitude dramatically shifts our focus. This doesn't mean we deny the pain that exists. It doesn't mean we adopt a phony attitude of sunshine and sweetness. But as we look lucidly at bad things that have happened, we can also give thanks for all the good. When we seize the opportunity to express gratitude, we seize a weapon that will help us prevail over resentment and disappointment. Okay, so God's redirection is His protection. I just did a video about this. God is never doing anything to you. He's always doing it for you. And when you shift your mentality, when you go through trials and tribulations, it makes your quality of life improve drastically because you're not mentally beating yourself up about something you can't control. You can't control it. You can't control what somebody else does to you. You can't control losing that, whatever it is that you lost that or you failed at that brings you deep sadness or deep pain. You're attaching too much to the shame and grief of the decision you made. Like, it was a lesson that needed to be. You can't win unless you fail. So it's like when you fail and you go through things, self-sabotaging and wallowing is what really takes up more space than the failing. Like, you have to be able to process failures in a healthy way. Like, okay, what did I learn from that? How can I avoid putting myself in this position again? Okay, cool. And then apply that knowledge and keep living. But when true failure is not trying. In my opinion, true failure is like making a mistake and being so ashamed about the mistake that you bury a grave for yourself before it's time for you to even go, and you just hide and you're just sabotaging. You're in a cycle of bad habits that are detrimental for you because you can't come to terms with the fact that you let yourself down or you made a mistake. And oftentimes I find when people are mentally healthy, they don't do that. They are able to identify like, okay, I did a bad thing, but I ain't no bad person. But people who aren't mentally healthy, they typically think I'm the bad thing that I did. And it's not really their fault because typically that comes from childhood. That subconscious belief that you're the bad thing that you did, it comes from the way that you were raised and the way that you grew up, right? So instead of beating yourself up and trying to figure out like why you think like that, just give yourself grace. You probably picked it up along the way. But you can reprogram your subconscious mind. So the next time something doesn't go your way, find the silver lining, the glass half empty versus the glass half full. So like if you lose your job, for example, instead of feeling like, what am I going to do? Like, oh my God, this always happens to me. Just be like, I know God got something in store for me. Like, I know God is preparing a seat at the table, that I can't even imagine what type of feast is about to be on this table. Like, God is coming with the blessings. I believe in God. And then, of course, put the work behind it. Maybe apply for some jobs. Maybe call some people and see if there's opportunities available. You still have to put yourself out there, but you got to have faith that God is going to open the proper doors for you when it's time for them to be open. So don't wallow and drown. Check your mental. As soon as you feel yourself being negative like that, you have to check yourself and be like, hey, I understand how you feel, but you're good. God got you. And I think that being having like a strong mentality will help you get through difficult times, because you know it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. God is pushing you into alignment. And sometimes when you're getting pushed into alignment with your greater purpose, you lose a lot of things. You know, like things are not just going to go perfectly. You're going to be disappointed, you're going to be let down, you're going to, you know, you're going to lose friends, you're going to fail, and you're going to make mistakes, and that's a part of life. So you might as well just get used to things going wrong in life, because that's a part of life. Just like things go right in life, things are going to go right too, but things are going to go wrong as well. And when they do go wrong, the way you respond to them shows the content of your character. It shows how much you've worked on yourself and how much you've developed yourself. And the amount of time it takes you to get up after making a mistake also shows like how you really feel about you. So again, you're not the bad thing that you did. Just because you made a mistake don't make you a bad person. You got to come to terms. You got to come to terms with whatever it is that you failed at, or whatever it is that you feel like is the end of the world, or else that shame and grief will literally weigh you down to the point where you don't do anything for your life. And is it really that serious? Like, if God is waking you up every day, you have a greater purpose. A job could be replaced. An opportunity could be replaced. A person can be replaced. Like, you know, like if God has you here, he has you here for a reason. So there's no point in shaming yourself and beating yourself up for decisions that you made. Take accountability. Like, if you hurt somebody else with the mistake that you made, take accountability to that person. Just be like, look, I shouldn't have did that. Like, and change your behavior. Actually be the change that you want to see in the world. And people will respect that way more than you beating yourself up. If it's a mistake that you made that only affected your life, that's even better, because at least your mistake didn't impact other people's lives. So if you made a mistake that just impacted your life, just be like, you know what? I wasn't operating from a place of consciousness, but I'm wrong for doing that. I learned this from the situation, and moving forward, I won't be doing that anymore, okay? So all you can do is try to pour into yourself and love yourself and be kind to yourself, and try to gain a deeper understanding of why you are the way you are versus judging yourself or shunning yourself, you know? Because when you judge and shame yourself, I'm telling you, you self-sabotage, because now you want to escape. Now you want to smoke. Now you want to drink every day. Now you want to have like meaningless relationships, because you can't really connect with nobody because you're running from yourself. It's like your quality of life is going to go down when you live like that. So I'm telling you, failure is never final, and you have to learn how to turn your setbacks into steps forward, okay? So when you fail, God is teaching you something. Always remember that. Never feel like God is trying to punish you, because he's not. A lot of times people say, how could God let this happen to me? God is protecting you from something. I'm telling you, like, you gotta have, that's why I say faith, you gotta have faith, because it's like some things don't make sense. You don't have the foresight to see what God sees that would happen if he didn't pull you from those situations, or, you know, he didn't let you fall so you could learn your lesson. And the longer you resist learning your lesson, the longer you're going to be in that cycle of your life. So if you want to elevate, if you want to move forward, if you want your life to change, you better listen to the signs that God is giving you, and stop operating from a place of ego and pride. Ego and pride are like, they're like a facade. Like, it makes you feel like you're powerful, or you're amazing. But in reality, like, if you truly know you're powerful and you're amazing, you don't have to have an inflated sense of self and never make mistakes and never accept when you're wrong, because really that just means you're insecure. You know, that means you're really not as big as you're thinking you are. It's an illusion, it's fake. And sometimes ego and pride comes from childhood, because it's like, okay, maybe you had to develop this facade to protect you, but now as an adult, you have to be self-assured and secure. You have to be able to be like, look, I was wrong. I was straight up. It takes a confident person to be able to be like, straight up, that was lame. That was weird. I should not have did that. It ain't nothing wrong with that. You're a human, and you'll get way more respect being real about your mistakes. Even with you, like, you'll respect yourself more if you're like, you know what? Nah, I didn't have to do that. That wasn't right. You know, and move forward, correct the mistake, and, you know, live your life. Like, because life is to be enjoyed, honestly, sweetheart. Like, whoever's watching this video, stop beating yourself up. God doesn't want you to beat yourself up. God said that if we didn't sin, he would replace us with the people who did sin. So stop beating yourself up. Stop getting down on yourself. Stop. It's not helping your situation at all. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a hug. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but, like, give yourself a hug and take deep breaths. Breathe 4 breaths in, hold it for 4 seconds, and let it out. And when I say breathe, breathe all the way into the pit of your stomach, because you can breathe like, but you gotta go, okay? Like, regulate your nervous system. Like, really learn little exercises that help you feel calm and safe with you, because I'm telling you, baby, God is not trying to punish you. He's trying to teach you. He wants you to learn from your mistakes. And I'm telling you, Your failures catapult you into your best timeline, into the best version of yourself, but only if you alchemize the energy to create something beautiful. If you sit and drown in the heaviness, you're going to get physically sick and mentally sick. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get yourself down like that. Like, you literally have to have faith in God and trust his plan and put the work behind it. You can't just have blunt faith and just lay down. No, it's a saying, you have to tie your camel, meaning like, okay, God is going to come, but like you have to put in the work as well. So again, pray and have faith, but choose something to go after and slowly work towards it. You know what I'm saying? Failure is not final unless you self-sabotage and you wallow and you don't fix your mentality. And then, yeah, it is final. And then you're just going to be that bitter old person who never healed from certain things that bothered them, or who never got past certain betrayals or certain heartbreaks. Like, it's something freeing about not letting what happened to you change who you are forever for the worse. Everything that happens to you changes you for the better. And I'm not saying you're a superhuman or like you're immortal, but it's something about knowing like, I'm good. No matter what, I'm good. Like, Allah is in control. God got me. God will never take something from you and not replace it with something better. But you can only have that disposition when you're moving with pure intention. So you're putting God first, and you're not over here. You're not out here playing with God's creations. It's one thing to make a mistake in your own life. It's another thing to just keep on making a mistake with a person, and you're damaging this person, and you're causing this person an endless amount of pain. And they might not ever be the same. You might damage them to the point where they never see love or they see the world the same. So again, leave your pain to you. If you're not healed and you're not able to be in connection without causing people severe pain, once you make amends and apologize, stay the hell away from people. Stay the hell away from people romantically until you're able to be in a healthy space to not take advantage of people in romantic connection. Because when you're healing and you're learning and you're taking accountabilities for your behaviors, that's just the surface level. On a deeper tip, why can't you, why aren't you able to love people who love you? Why do you self-sabotage those connections? So now you have to reparent that inner child in you and say you're worthy, you're valuable. Like, now you have to really go back and get that little kid who was neglected and pour into them, or else you're going to spill on everybody else. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up, but don't be trying to get in connection with people and you're not prepared for that. Again, let your failures be to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your failures affecting the trajectory of somebody else's life. Again, so even if you do business with somebody and you mess the money up and you apologize to them and they forgive you and you move on, don't do business with nobody else until your money is right to the point where that won't happen again, or you're able to, try to prepare better for next time. Whatever lesson it is that you needed to learn the lesson and move forward. There ain't no point in beating yourself up, okay? It's not on you, it's in you. God is not punishing you. God loves you, and failure is just for you to learn, baby. Alchemize that energy and become the best version of you. We're all human. We all go through, girl, whoever's watching, man or woman, we all fail in life. Like, everybody has. I failed so hard. I feel like I cracked my head open. When I tell you I failed severely, my failures have affected other people. You feel me? Me running from myself has affected I've hurt people deeply. And that's why I'm saying you don't want to hurt people deeply, because you refuse to do that internal work. You refuse to reprogram your mind. Like, if you have a problem sabotaging yourself, you're going to sabotage relationships. So again, until you stop self-sabotaging, just be on your individual journey, to learning the lessons that God is teaching you, and let God align you to your greater path, and alchemize the energy and become the best version of you. You can do it, but healing, you can heal in community, but you got to heal to a certain extent before you go in community. You can't just go and taint the water, take advantage of people, or be moving so unconsciously. You don't even know the damage that you're causing. And I'm telling you, when it comes to humans, you will experience what you put another human through. So if you didn't consider somebody, if you treated somebody, certain ways because you were living unconsciously, when you become conscious, you're not above that. You're going to meet somebody who's operating on that same level. So we have to be very careful how we treat people. So we're going to leave our failures to us. We're not going to project those onto other people, and we're going to learn the lesson, and we're going to heal, and we're going to do better. You feel me? But All in all, ain't nobody perfect. And I literally made Radiant Souls because I feel like the world promotes toxicity so much and not mental wellness, emotional wellness, or like a safe space for people. Ain't nobody perfect. When I tell you I've made 1,000 mistakes in my life, and that's what inspired me to make Radiant Souls, because I know I'm a good person, and I know there's a certain light about me that, you know, draws people in, that makes people drawn to me and attracted to me. But that's a sacred gift, and it's like you can't abuse the gift. If you don't heal, like, you could literally hurt people that God sent you to help. So it's like you really got to heal before you go into connection, or else you're going to taint people who didn't deserve it. You know, so all in all, failure is not final. And I'm going to read this last quote for you guys before I end up closing the book, because this book is so nice. When we fail at something or perceive that we failed, it may hurt or embarrass us to the point where we shrivel into a self-protective shell. So again, when you fail, you want to isolate, right? When you fail, you want to run away from everybody. But you have to be able to, again, once you're able to accept the fact that you made a mistake and it caused something to go wrong in your life, you got to be able to stand on that. So when people question you about it, or people bring it up to you, just be like, yeah, I did that. I was learning. I had to adjust, but I'm better now. Like, and anybody who tries to shame you for mistakes you made, you need to have boundaries with them, okay? Because once you take accountability with yourself, it ain't nothing. The truth will set you free. Like, once you tell yourself the truth, like, yeah, that happened because I did this. When somebody else confronts you with it, it ain't nothing, because you don't live a lie. You confront your actions, and you know why you did what you did. But nonetheless, I love you, Radiant Souls. It's gonna be okay. Don't beat yourself up. Failure is not final, and God is with you. So follow me on TikTok at Radiant Souls. Drop your socials below, and I'll follow you guys back. And if you guys are having trouble speaking life into yourself, like doing affirmations, doing somatic healing. Somatic healing is when you move your body to release the trauma that's stored in your hips or your body, because you can get autoimmune diseases when you go through so many traumatic things. And also journaling. I have a guide in my description on my YouTube if you guys are interested. So nonetheless, you got this. You're beautiful, you're smart, you're amazing, and you're gonna make it on the other side. Just be patient and know that failure is not final, and God is always with you.